Cracks in brick, cracks in block, sticking windows or doors. Settling or sinking foundation, it's a fact. Foundation problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS.
Here's your weather video for this Sunday, July 24th. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and we tried to avoid the D word for a while, but we've got a little bit of drought in Alabama. We're going to talk about that today and perhaps erasing this hopefully in the next few weeks. But areas northwest of I-59, those primarily that have been dry, and that corresponds to the abnormally dry and just moderate drought areas that are showing up on the drought monitor as of this week. And it's borne out very well by the rainfall over the last 90 days. You can see there areas south of I-59 have been pretty wet for the most part. Some areas of the central Alabama, south central Alabama, a little dry, but the real dryness is to the northwest there. Places like Jasper, Coleman, Hamilton, Huntsville, up into northeast Alabama have been really dry, while parts of the area southeast of Birmingham have been really wet. Upper air pattern across North America this morning shows a weak ridge of high pressure extending from the Four Corners region all the way across the Midwest and Southeast. You can see the big Bermuda Azores High. We'll talk about a little more in just a moment out there in the Atlantic Ocean. Weakened a little bit from its recent position, but you can also see some troughiness and low pressure over southern Canada by midweek. That trough over the southern part of Canada moves down into the Midwest. We continue to have brief weak ridging over the southeast. And by next weekend, the trough will be lifting on out, but not before pushing a boundary down into South Alabama. We stay right here under the ridging. This is GFS choice of model today, looking later today. Just isolated thunderstorms across Alabama. Maybe not even as many as we saw yesterday. That MCV, the Mesoscale Convective Vortex from Thursday night storms, still pinwheeling over Mississippi yesterday, and on the outer spokes of those pinwheels, a few thunderstorms developed with quite a bit of lightning. Now, by tomorrow, it's more the same, maybe scattered showers and thunderstorms. The brief wedging stays in place, but we've got really tropical moisture over Alabama, precipitable water values over 2 inches. By Tuesday, again, it's more of the same. Lots of moisture, lots of sunshine, heat and humidity, and that means instability. Scattered showers and thunderstorms develop. But as we move into about Wednesday, the showers should clear out a bit just because the approaching trough will cause the ridge to strengthen just a bit over the southeast. So we probably remain dry on Wednesday and Thursday. Highs on those days get into the middle 90s, and we'll probably require heat advisories by that point, as the apparent temperature will be approaching 105 to 110 degrees. Now, by Friday, the trough over the Great Lakes begins to flex this muscle. The boundary gets close enough to really trigger showers and thunderstorms. I think they'll be fairly likely on Friday and very likely on Saturday as well. We may not even get out of the 80s on Saturday. Boy, doesn't that sound fabulous? And then as we move out to the end of the period on August 4th, it's more of the same. Interesting little disturbance there in the Gulf of Mexico. Might be a tropical system. We'll be watching that development. That's 2 weeks out and plenty of time. And you can see it's not very organized. We'll talk more about the tropics now. But I wanted to talk about the Saharan dry layer or the Saharan air layer. This dry, very dusty air coming off the coast of Africa, off the deserts of the Sahara, there because of that very strong upper ridge. Just one of the stronger upper ridges I've seen in quite some time. And you can see here on the GFS, it's still very strong out there across the Atlantic, but it's beginning to weaken just a bit. Any tropical systems that form when you got this over the middle of the Atlantic, this Bermuda Azores High, they are going into the Caribbean and the United States. Now, hopefully for us, for our sake, it will weaken as we go through time and allow some of these storms to move out to the north that we expect. That huge upper high has a big impact. First, it's pulling all of this air off of the Sahara with all that dust, and you see it's overspread almost all of the Atlantic into the eastern Caribbean. It also does another thing, it's pushed colder waters down into the main development region. These waters are still warm enough to support tropical cyclone development, but the difference is that this water, instead of being above normal like it was 2, 3 weeks ago, is now a little below normal, and that could help us out in the long run. The Bermuda Azores High is an asset and an enemy. We'll be watching to see how it develops over the next couple of weeks. 2 weather brains this week coming up. Tomorrow night, the gang will be talking to to Mr. Heller from Dallas, and going to be a fun show. And then Thursday night, we'll be talking about Rogue Wave. So join us for Weather Brains, the weekly netcast that's all about weather. Well, that's your video for this Sunday, July 24th. I'll have notes on the blog, an update on the forecast coming up at noon. James will be back with two-a-days all week. I'll be here next Sunday, and next Saturday, Scott will see you. And until then, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky because you'll always have something fun to look at.
Cracks in brick? Cracks in block? Call Alabama Professional Services. Leaning or bowing basement walls? Call APS. Sticking windows or doors? Call APS. Settling or sinking foundation? That's right. Call APS. It's a fact. Foundation problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call APS. Call Alabama Professional Services today.